to show up at the computer, we're going to look for Illustrator. Open Illustrator. Now when you show up, I'm going to go File, Create a New Workspace. We want to make sure our width and our height match the size of a laser bed. We want to make sure our color mode is RGB. Looks like we're set up. And OK. The next thing we want to do is go up to Window, Workspace, and Reset Laser, Laser, Laser.
Laser, laser, laser.
And what this will do is just make sure that these are all put away and beautiful. So if you ever show up and the computer's a mess, Window, Workspace, Reset, Laser. Awesome. So we're going to add an image. We already have an image that on our desktop. So go back there. We're going to go over to File, Place. Now we have to find this image. Here we go. And place. And you can click anywhere on the artboard and it'll place it for you. So if we go over to this Layers palette, Layers shows, I'm going to click this down arrow, Layers shows everything that's on the artboard. So if I click this eyeball on and off, that shows and hides the little image here. So what we're actually going to do is lock this image. Should I make it bigger, you think, or should I just...
Make it a little bigger.
Okay. I'm going to click on it. I don't know how to do this unless it's a shortcut key. Free transform tool. I'm holding down Shift so that the proportions don't get stretched. Great. There's a lot. Alright, so we made this bigger. You can still see it's in our palette, and we're going to click on this box and lock everything. And that means that we can't accidentally edit or move this piece anymore. So back in our Layers palette, I'm going to click on this little down arrow hamburger and create a new layer. And layer, we're going to call it Artwork. And push OK. So now we have two layers, one that we're actually going to be drawing our shape in, and the other one that has our background artwork in it. There's a better way to do that, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and push Control plus and zoom in a tiny bit and adjust my screen. So what we're going to be doing is drawing this PCC logo shape in the hopes that then we can use it on the laser to etch it out of something. Thank you. So over on the left-hand side, there's the pen tool. You can click on it, or you can just push P. Pen tool is pretty special. You can draw straight lines, or we can draw curved lines with it. Straight lines are drawn just by clicking and clicking. And clicking and clicking and clicking. I feel like there's so much detail in here that we're not going to go into, but that's okay. The lines will remain attached until you return back to the original starting place, and it creates that little O next to the shape. Oops. Curved lines are created by dragging out the point without lifting the mouse, without lifting the cursor. Thank you.
That's difficult.
It's not difficult.
It takes practice.
It does take practice. If we looked at a circle has 4 little points on it. And so we just keep this in mind that the minimum of points is best. If you're doing a round shape, you should be able to do it with only 4 little points. That's a pretty lumpy circle, but it works. Alright, I'm going to delete this stuff. And we're going to play with this guy. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Or a lot more. So I'm going to choose my pen tool. And I think I'm going to start with the straight, and then we'll do the curved. So I'm just going to arbitrarily choose that this is where the first point is. Click, click. Yeah, looks good. Oops. Kind of see where it's deleting where I'm going. What's happening is that it's filling in with the white color. So we're just going to not worry about this now. We're going to push null and the white stroke. We'll deal with that later. Okay, back to my shape. These are just one click to create a straight line. Now that I'm starting the curve portion, I'm going to click and drag. I'm sort of keeping that circle in mind. If this was a circle, there would be a point here, and a point here. Very carefully. Click and drag. If I draw one that's wonky or I don't like it, I can adjust this. We can talk about those arrows in a minute. But nothing is set in stone. This is the part where you could speed up the video. Alright, I'm working my way back out of the curve. Okay, I'm coming up on my starting point, and you see the cursor creates a little circle by it. I'll go ahead and click on that. Alright, so I think this is all one piece. I'm going to click on the black arrow. And yep, that's all one piece. So,
outline.
Yeah. Pretty good? Just so you know. So this is great. This is a great little spiral, but it doesn't really make a logo. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw the outside of this box and then use this shape we created as sort of a cookie cutter to punch out the shape. So I'm just going to click on the outer corners. Click, click, click. Make sure it closes. It creates that little circle to close. Beautiful. So I'm going to go over to the Pathfinder tool. Well, we've got a lot going on over here. Too much going on. I'm going to go and reset my workspace, clean it up. Beautiful. Pathfinder tool, what we're looking for in this case is minus back. It doesn't look like anything happened, but something did, trust me. Okay. God, there's so much to cover. So essentially what we've done is we've taken those two pieces and made them into one. We're going to add some color so you can see exactly what piece is the positive and which pieces in here are the negative. This represents our colors. Right here represents the fill color. Right now there's no fill. And this box represents the stroke color, which is the shape, the line around the outside of the shape. So we're going to add a fill color right now. It's going to be black. So this guy should not be here. Are these RGB?
Should be, right?
I'll try. Alright, my stroke color is, or my fill color, excuse me, is going to be black. Oops. I select my object, and I click on the color I want to fill it with. I'll zoom out. I'll drag this off. Looks like a pretty convincing logo. It's a little lumpy, but with some practice and finessing, it'll get better. So let's say we want to cut out this logo. We don't want to cut out the template that's behind it, though, that example we were using. So we're going to return to our layers palette up here. And we have the layer that's locked, and that's our template. We're going to actually unlock it and select it by clicking on it. Now I'm going to go down here to the garbage can. Layer 1 contains artwork. Yes, we want to delete it. We're done with it. So all we're left with is this shape that we drew. So over here is the ellipse tool. I'm just going to draw a circle. Beautiful. Whoops, it filled. So we're going to go over to our fill color and say no fill. just want the outline? So you talked about red and black?
No, we need to revisit it.
Okay. Anytime there's black in, how would you describe this? Any shape that's filled with black tells the laser cutter that this is going to be etched. Any shapes that are aligned that are red tells the laser cutter that it's a vector line to cut out. So in order for this to be cut out, it needs to be red. So we are going to double click on the stroke itself. And red is 255R, 0G, 0B. And OK. So because we had the line highlighted, it changed the color. So I'm going to select this line, I'm going to make it the correct stroke weight. And this can be done up here, or it can be done on the right hand in the stroke palette. All we have to do is enter 0.001. Now we have the line that tells the laser cutter to cut this piece out, and the black shape that tells the laser cutter to engrave.